Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I've traveled across the country and firmly believe that the people in small towns are the hands that keep America strong. So join me, Rodney Miller, as I show you the great things these people do on Small Town Big Deal. Welcome to Small Town Big Deal.
We are going back in time to the Jefferson Barracks. It's just southwest of St. Louis, Missouri, and was established in 1826.
For just one $5 gold coin, 1,700 acres were purchased and the Jefferson Barracks was born.
That was a heck of a deal.
Yeah.
And the barracks have been involved in every American war since the 1832 Black Hawk War, all the way up to Afghanistan.
That's a lot of history.
And the history's going to live on.
That's right, because over here, soon to open, the brand new Missouri Civil War Museum. We're going to go check it out.
The museum will be housed in the barracks' old post exchange building, which was built for commissioned officers back in 1905, and even had a gymnasium with a second-story running track.
You can't tell the story of how this museum is coming to life without telling Mark Trout's story, a former Marine and police officer who had a dream more than a decade in the making.
Well, 11 years ago, I just happened to drive by several of these old abandoned buildings, and I kind of fell in love with this big one here.
The problem with this big one here, it had been boarded up since 1946 and left to rot.
The ceiling was falling down. There was 8-foot gaping holes that you could watch the clouds go by. The north wall was collapsing, and the water would cascade down. It destroyed the running track. Raccoons lived in here, pigeons lived in here. It looked like the Titanic if you've seen some of those photographs. This was really bad, but worth saving.
And so the saga of the Missouri Civil War Museum began. Motivated by great-great-grandfathers who fought in the Civil War, Mark and a small army of volunteers began the restoration.
Did anybody say, Mark, you're crazy?
Many people have said that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Many people still say that.
It has been 11 years of craziness. It's been obviously very challenging in many ways, and so even though our children have gone without many things over the last 11 years, I think that somehow their character has grown by watching Dad and sacrificing along the way.
The sacrifice has paid off as the museum is set to open soon. Already installed in the main gallery is a Studebaker wagon whose original parts were found in a barn in Kentucky.
A real horse will be tacked up with Civil War era gear.
And a cannon, which is precisely reproduced and could go out and shoot anytime.
Speaking of shooting, Rodney's eyes really lit up when Mark mentioned muskets.
Is there any way we can maybe shoot one of those?
Gary Stevens is still in the building. He used to be a reenactor. He knows all about this stuff. I'm sure he'd be happy to take you out and let you burn some powder, as they say.
Ooh, burn some powder.
Burn some powder.
All right. Okay, okay, this was supposed to be my surprise. I was going to be in uniform.
She's trying to upstage me again.
No, who told you were going to be in uniform?
Yeah, this was supposed to be my deal in the uniform bit.
Okay, you know what? I think we're going to settle this out on the firing range.
Game on.
All right. You must be Gary.
You two ready to fire some muskets
Very
and get
much
this
so.
settled?
I think so.
Do you have any real bullets?
Yeah, I think we'll keep this safe and a little friendlier today.
I think so.
So we head to the woods to shoot. The goal is to see who can get their shot off first, Jan or me, but not without a quick lesson from Gary.
All right, and you two will get to experience something you've probably never tasted before, black powder.
Oh my gosh, okay.
First thing, bite the cartridge.
Oh.
How's it taste?
Not too good. Pour the powder down the barrel, take the ramrod and then ram it down. Place the ramrod, go to half cock, set the cap on the cone. At this point, ready to fire.
Did you catch all that? Not sure. Good thing Gary's gonna fire one off first.
Wow. Did you see the flames that came out of the end of it?
Jan and I have a little wager. Whoever is last to fire their gun buys dinner.
Here we go.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
You cheated. Oh my gosh. Oh. You did not tap it down. Oh my gosh, I'm already dead.
The Union wins again.
I think I'm buying dinner.
That was a blast. And it always feels good to win. How's it feel to lose?
I need to find a restaurant that serves humble pie.
While Jan and I were burning powder, Mark was at the Merrimack Valley Bank in Ellisville, where many of the artifacts are being safely stored.
These artifacts help tell the story of how Missouri was a border state and ranks third in the number of battles in the Civil War, only behind Virginia and Tennessee.
That Missouri had one of the largest federal hospitals in the country, with patients from as far away as Vicksburg.
And that the first engagement of an African-American regiment occurred in Bates County, Missouri.
90% of the artifacts have been donated.
And to have families turn over items to our institution makes us very humble here, knowing that it's now been passed to us to not only preserve these items forever, but also tell their story.
Bank Vice President Rick Jones opened up the vault so we could see one of the most prized possessions.
Big moment.
I know. Wow.
We are about to see a Medal of Honor from the Civil War.
These were issued to Charles Beeger, who served in the 4th Missouri Cavalry. That's the original Civil War era. And then this is the replacement that comes in after the 1900s. His act of bravery on his citation was he rescued his commanding officer who was out in the field of battle. It's one of the most sacred items we have in the collection.
Then up to the boardroom to see a few more treasures.
Here's a few of the items that we brought out for you to look at. This is just a small sampling of what we got in the collection.
What percentage?
Oh, I'd probably say 1%.
Well, this is 1% of
We're striving to open up the museum with about 1,000 artifacts on exhibit. Many of these items have been in safe storage for 10, almost 11 years, just waiting for the day for the museum to open. It's going to be like Christmas on steroids.
We have to come back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mark is a man making his dream come true.
And preserving history for generations to come. Both are very big deals.
It's time to man up with Massey. Take it from the dairy farmers who already have.
It's a great tractor, absolutely excellent fuel economy, and it's dependable.
CVT is great, you never have to shift. I liked it because it goes real slow.
It makes you more productive.
They're the best performing tractor out there.
We're not just out to change your tractor. We're out to change the game. Go to manupwithmassey.com.
For 110 years, Morton Buildings has served the needs of the American farmer. Today, we continue to construct farm buildings while also offering custom stall barns, workshops, garages, and commercial facilities. From concept through completion, Morton Buildings handles every aspect of your project. Join generations of customers who've discovered the quality and dependability of a Morton building. For more information and to get started on your building project, call 800-447-7436 or visit our website at mortonbuildings.com.
Come on, guys. We're down by one. We got the second half to go.
Introducing the world's most dedicated soccer mom.
So embarrassing.
On the world's fastest lawnmower. Dixie Chopper. The world's fastest lawnmower.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. We've traveled to the Hawkeye State to visit the town of Gladbrook, population 945. This community has built a reputation for itself, literally.
Rodney, remember when we were kids and we'd glue matchsticks together and make a creation?
Well, yeah, but none of mine were a very big deal.
Yeah, come to think of it, none of mine were either. But there is a guy here whose creations are a big deal, not just here in Gladbrook, but all over the world.
His name is Pat Acton. His passion? Building matchstick models. This retired college career counselor started his hobby back in 1977 when he built his first creation, a small church. Today, Pat still constructs matchstick models, and nearly 10,000 people a year come to see them at the Matchstick Marvels Museum.
Oh my gosh, you must be Pat.
Hi, Jan.
Hi.
Rod, welcome to Gladbrook, Iowa and Matchstick Marvels.
USS Nimitz.
From the Space Shuttle Challenger to the Wright Brothers Flyer.
I was gonna say, these were pretty brave guys.
Pat's models are amazing. In fact, Ripley's Believe It or Not museums have nearly 20 of his models showcased around the world, including his biggest model today, Hogwarts Castle from the Harry Potter books. Pat gave us a personal tour of these true marvels.
The Capitol is one of the major pieces in here that people really get excited about. Over 2 years in the making, about 500,000 matchsticks, more than 10 gallons of wood glue.
500,000 matchsticks. Now this looks totally to scale, so how did you come up with, did you have some drawings to go off of, or?
Well, I was waiting actually for somebody to show up on my doorstep saying why I was on the Capitol website so much.
So much. Yeah, excuse me, sir, you have some explaining to do.
Exactly.
Homeland Security.
Yeah.
So the model is made in several pieces. So this, the Senate and House congressional wings pull off. The middle section's one piece, and then the dome is stacked much like a layered cake, and it comes apart.
When you've got the full-time job and you're doing 2,000 hours on this, what is your wife saying to you? I'm kind of curious.
Well, she knows where I am.
Notre Dame.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I love architecture too.
Yeah.
So I just want to test her architectural knowledge.
Sure.
Do you know what these things are right here that are coming out here?
Flying buttresses.
See, she knows everything about everything.
Tried to stump me.
Trick her on anything.
Tried to stump me.
Look at the little shingles.
They look like the little ends of the matchstick.
That's exactly
Is
what
that
they
what
are.
they are?
That's exactly what they are.
Do you have a hardwood floor in your house?
No, actually.
You're probably really good at putting those together.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
The way the museum building came together is a great story too.
And this facility was built by volunteers. It's strictly volunteer operated, and it was a community effort. I was trying to find a place to keep all the models and retain them in Iowa, and the local people said this is too good to let go.
That's the epitome of small town America
right.
too. I mean,
really
Everybody came together.
Symbolizes everything we do every week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How did you get the sails curved?
Yeah.
The sails, I actually took condensed styrofoam and carved the styrofoam in the shape of the sail, covered that with a slick material, and then molded the sticks over the foam jig.
Have you ever built something like this and then dropped it?
I have, but I always say when if and when they're damaged, they're in fewer pieces than when I started. So.
Well, I guess if you built the whole thing, you know, putting just a little bit back together is no big deal. Do you get a lot of veterans that come here to look at this too?
We do. And I get a lot of remarks from people that have served on the Iowa or the Iowa class ships.
So they can say, I worked in this area?
Yeah, that's exactly the type of thing they do. All the turrets will actually move.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Pat, a while ago you said you built these in your basement. Can we go see that?
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
And then could maybe Jan and I build something?
Ooh, that'd be fun. Something small.
Maybe a little competition?
Yes. Competition?
I'll supply the product.
All right.
Let's go.
Roll up my sleeves. Let's go.
So this is where all the magic happens.
This is it, my humble shop. Matchstick 101?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go to class.
Let's do it.
You're going to see my creation and weep.
I think Jan's making a stick plan.
Oh, I'm off to a great start.
I think I'm ahead.
I already have like 50 done.
You're right.
Let's just say it's going to be a big deal.
Looks like time's up.
Farm boy makes a wooden fence.
A farm fence. I wanted to do something that I thought was a big deal. So,
Oh, yeah, right.
will the real creator please hold the creation?
So the truth comes out.
I know, but we couldn't resist.
Thanks for all you do. This has been great fun.
This has been great. I've been so impressed.
Pleasure for me.
Thank you, thank you.
Next up, miracles happen, as this former Olympian will tell you. So stay tuned.
Good.
It's time to man up with Massey. Take it from the farmers who already have.
When we were John Deere, that was in our blood. We are now colorblind. We are looking for value.
Simply just gets the job done. I have to say, Massey opened my eyes. This isn't your daddy's Massey Ferguson.
We're not just out to change your tractor. We're out to change the game. Go to manupwithmassey.com.
Hi, I'm Rodney Miller, host of Small Town Big Deal. I recently got wind of a way to make my pond picture perfect, and it's all thanks to my good friend John Redd at Outdoor Water Solutions.
Thanks, Rodney. At Outdoor Water Solutions, we manufacture a wide range of pond products, including the windmill aeration system that you see behind me. So if your pond has moss on the top or black muck or organic matter on the bottom, then you need to look at our products.
And John, how can our viewers find out about you?
You can go to our website, which is outdoorwatersolutions.com.
We know who made that hitch. We know who cut the steel, who milled the ball, and who welded the seams. We know who tested, measured, and checked. We even know who thought the whole thing up. We're B&W, and we know your hitch. Because we don't make them halfway around the world. We make them all right here. B&W. Trusted.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller, and we're in Micanopy, Florida. You know, occasionally at Small Town Big Deal, we like to tell you about people who make a difference in life. And I'm going to tell you about a lady who has overcome some great challenges and is doing just that. Debbie Connor had dreamed of being a horse jumping champion ever since she was a child. With fierce determination and faith, she fought her way through the competitive world of Grand Prix horse jumping, but not without some life-changing events along the way. I met up with Debbie at her beautiful Cabana Ranch in Central Florida. Still competing today, she also owns a successful horse import and sales business. Debbie, we're here because your life is pretty much a miracle. How did that come about?
I wanted to be a missionary before, but the Lord gave me the desires of my heart and did it with the horses. So I found this horse off the racetrack. His name was Hellhole Swamp.
What is it? His name was what?
Hellhole Swamp. Felt like it was.
You renamed him, I guess?
I renamed him the Evangelist, yes. He was one of the top jumpers in the world. I rode on the United States equestrian team with him and traveled all over the world. We were on our way to the Olympics. Right before the games, I was riding one of Mr. Valentine's horses, who was a sponsor of mine, who's like my second father.
Had a great impact on your life.
Oh my goodness, yes. Right before the Olympics, a horse's feet hit the ground and he flipped upside down and fell right on top of me. And I was in a coma for 10 days. And when I came out of the coma, I was partially paralyzed and I had to learn how to walk and talk all over again.
It was a long recovery?
It was about a year.
Then you had another serious accident just fairly recently.
I was in a Grand Prix and I was actually winning the class, and my mare slipped off the ground, which shot me off her back face first. But that still was a pretty long recovery. I was back riding in 6 months.
That's a pretty long recovery.
But I managed to get married in that little bit of time. I was like, hey, I got time. We got time to get married. We can't go to a horse show now. So I looked a little bit like Frankenstein's bride, but that's okay.
And you're still competing today?
I am. Hopes and dreams do come true, and all things are possible. And I'm living proof of it.
Anybody can overcome some great challenges.
Exactly.
And you've had great challenges, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's got to be a challenge running a horse farm here, too. I mean, in today's economy.
That's probably the biggest challenge.
Ready to go inside, buddy? Proving that point, Debbie and a supporting cast of characters gave me a crash course on how to keep this place jumping.
He's ready for breakfast. He's a little boy, he's a little bit hungry, I think.
Rodney, you're pretty talented with this.
I think I have like a gift for mucking stalls.
Yes, you do.
Well, now you're gonna go meet my best friend.
Your best friend?
My best friend, yeah, Passion Play. He's one of my top horses, and matter of fact, he just was reserve champion at the horse show over at Hits.
And so why is he your best friend?
At 34 years old, when the evangelist got in laminitis and they were gonna have to put him down. So I got a big bag of Mrs. Pastor's cookies, and I went to give them to him, and he pushed my hand away. I said, "You don't want your last 2 cookies?" And it really kind of hurt my feelings. And this one was over on the next aisleway, looking through this little crack, watching all this. I said, "Well, I'm going to give Passion Play your cookies." So I go over, I give him the 2 cookies. He looks at me. He reaches over the side of the wall and he cribs and he looks at me. He'd never cribbed before in his life. Well, the hair stood up on my whole body. I said, "Oh my goodness, the evangelist just passed his spirit to you." I said, "You got some big horseshoes to fill, buddy, and I got to compete again."
Today, Michael, the showgroom, gets champion horse Corsie ready to show a prospective buyer. Debbie rides and assesses warm blood breeds in Europe before buying them. Then she brings them to the U.S. to further train and sell. She'll ride Corsie to show what he can do, and then the customer will give him a try.
Perfect. Super.
Debbie also teaches others the riding techniques that have made her a champion. Her students trust her and respond to her frequent encouragement.
Good. Perfect. Very good. Excellent.
Okay, she's going to try to teach this old cowboy to jump in an English saddle.
Stay on this side of the jumps and this side on the different colored grass.
This could be a disaster.
Get in your half seat. Come on, keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. You got it. Don't pull on the reins. Woo! Good! Well, after watching you ride and work and everything, and I think I've got something perfect that you can take home to the farm and ride.
Oh, yeah. Okay, real funny. You guys are a treat, but I'll take her.
Aw,
what's her name?
Madonna.
Aww.
She's a rock star.
Oh, she's cute. Debbie, you've been described by others as having a lot of faith, a lot of guts, and putting in a lot of hard work. If I could ask you to describe your life in a sentence or 2, what would that be?
It has been very, very, very blessed by the Lord. And He has led me the way and given me the desires of my heart.
From a small town in Florida or wherever you are, Debbie's story proves that some really big deals can come out of our lives if we work hard, have faith, and never give up. The end of this champion story isn't finished yet, and I can't wait to see what's next.
We're in a Dixie Chopper showroom to announce that they're one of our newest sponsors.
We are so happy to have Dixie Chopper as part of the Small Town Big Deal family. What I wasn't happy about in this episode was how badly you beat me with the Civil War musket.
Well, I did whoop up on you pretty good. You know, but I can't believe you tried to pass off that Small Town Big Deal emblem as your work.
Oh, the Matchstick one. Well, if I'd had more time, I'm sure I could have done it.
Yeah, right. You know, but wasn't Debbie Connor's life story inspiring?
Oh, I couldn't believe how she kept coming back from those accidents. That is one tough lady.
Sure is. You know, and if you have a great story, go to our website and tell us about it.
That's right. We might be in your town next.
I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America.
While in the St. Louis area, some accommodations for Small Town Big Deal were provided by the Lodge at Grants Trail Bed and Breakfast by Orlando's. It's a place that makes you feel like you're right at home.
I want to make sure he doesn't get my fingers.
He won't bite you.
Yeah. That, as he's opening his mouth this way, good advice. This is from the same girl who broke it, who said, no problem getting hurt.
There we go. There you go.